The yugas, this is an Indian term. It means ages. But lest you think that this is an Indian teaching, it is actually interesting to discover that there were some 222 ancient civilizations, all of whom believed in the same truth, and they were in America, in Europe, in Asia, and all over the place, that mankind goes through certain cycles. This book explains why we go through those cycles. You know, you and I tend to forget that we're living in a cosmic environment, and that what happens in the universe around us is actually very important. And so it is that the solar system goes around its dual, as this book explains, and as it comes closer to a grand central energy point, it gains more awareness, and with that awareness, more energy, and people become conscious in a higher and higher way. Well, you can see in your own life that people who are more aware and more intelligent always have more energy, and those who are more stupid are dull-minded. You can't find somebody who is absolutely stupid and dog-like. He can't imitate intelligence. An intelligent person may be able to imitate a stupid person, but the reverse doesn't happen. It takes energy to be aware. And as the solar system approaches that grand central area in our galaxy, and it does this in 24-year, thousand-year cycles. Many people think that the precession of the equinox takes 26,000 years. But in fact, the speed of that varies. And Sri Yukteswar said that according to the ancient system, it is 24,000. Well, that's a trivial point at this point in the argument. But the truth is that this does happen, that man goes through a time when we're farthest away from that central area, and man is very unenlightened. And as he comes closer to it, he becomes more and more enlightened. In the Dark Age, which in the Indian teachings is called Kali, but in, for instance, ancient Greek, they had ages of gold, silver, copper, iron. In Persia, the same thing. The Hopi Indians and many, many different ancient civilizations, which this book explains, had that same belief in 4 cycles. Well, anyway, as you go up from Kali Yuga, in the beginning you think only matter is real. Then you become more aware, and you discover that the reality of matter is energy. And in fact, this new age of Dwapara Yuga, the second age, it began in 1900. It was in 1905 that people discovered that matter is only energy. Sri Yukteswar wrote this book before that, but he said this is what they will find. He wrote it in 1894. In this yuga, also man will overcome the delusion or illusion, whichever word you prefer, of space. And man will be able to travel to distant galaxies. And even now, already at the very beginning of this Kali Yuga, of this Dwapara Yuga, at the very beginning of it, we're finding that we're already able to go to the moon. Pretty soon we'll be going to Mars. And I suspect that we'll find ourselves going to distant galaxies, things that physicists tell you is impossible. But my guru Paramahansa Yogananda explained is possible, because the veil of delusion keeps us thinking you've got to go by Newtonian physics. You don't have to. The time will come when you can bypass and go through that and perhaps go in an instant to another galaxy. these UFOs that people have been seeing on the earth, they're real. They're not imaginary. Too many voracious people have seen them. But I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to go on. I want to say that in Treta Yuga, people demolished the illusion of time. And actually, there are two books that I know of that I found in India that gave predictions for the future of individuals. And in this book, one of these books, I found my name. It said his name is Donald James, I should say. But my full name is James Donald Walters. And that he has brothers, but no sister is possible, though one will die in his mother's womb. And when I got back from India, I asked my mother, and she said, yes, I did have a miscarriage. There are many things that it said that were really quite true. One was a prediction that I had, there was a danger of instantaneous death. And 3 times in my life, I've been saved only by divine grace. Once I was out in the desert, and a flock of crows flew around my head. And when I went to make up my bed 2 days later, I'd been sleeping out of doors, I found a squashed black widow spider between the sheets. Several times. I'm not going to go into all of those stories, fascinating though they are. But this book, I think, is a very important book for those who want to understand where they are in time and space and what our future is. And it will make you very much more knowledgeable of who and what you are.